you ever driven up there? I was in a rental car and I didn't know where I was at, what I was doing. And they wouldn't let me over and I had to stay in that one lane and I wound up.
Today we're on a church bus.
They call it Manhattan Island. I was out there.
We're in Cordele to ride Sam Shortline.
I don't care, dude.
Sam Shortline is a vintage train that runs from Cordele to Archery. Prices are $40 to $120 depending on what you get.
On it? Tell me what it's like working for the railroad.
All aboard. No, I don't want to work with the railroad. I heard that's a bad place to work.
Donnie's a friend who used to
Kirby
work on the
knows he's
railroad.
worked there.
The railroad?
Oh, that's the places it stops. That's pretty cool. Goes all the way to Plains.
There's an apparent ticket booth, but ours were purchased ahead of time.
We got our things, we got our tickets and everything. Where do we get them?
Donnie's getting directions.
And he'll tell us which car to get them. All right, that's good.
What'd they tell
They
you?
said when they tell everybody to board, they'll tell you which car to get on.
Oh.
Stacey, you just told them that.
I did? Oh, validated me. I was thinking that in my head. Now I have to be careful trying to get punched on you in the face.
Hello everybody, we are in Cordele at the Georgia Veterans State Park and we're going to ride Sam Shortline with our Sunday school class. So let's see how this goes. It's a excursion train from Cordele to Leslie to Americus and Plains.
The phone museum.
There's a lot of stuff, so
We've never done that. We've done some of this other stuff, but we've never done that before. And it was an early morning. We had to get on the church bus super early. It was taking me a while to warm up this morning.
Yeah, me too. So we'll see how this goes. So hopefully we'll see you on the train. By the way, this is a follow-up to my initial series in this show, which was like Sumter County and Plains and all that. This is a facet of that.
I'll drop the links in the comments.
And Stacey's packed like Mr. Howell.
Okay, so I got a blanket because you don't know if you're going to be cold or if you're going to need survival. It's a survival blanket. Oh, I see. Apples, trail mix, and like a bunch of waters. And the apples and water are really heavy, so this bag weighs like 3,000 tons. I got, in case someone gets a headache. And if they question me, I'm just going to say these are supplies for like the whole bus.
Yeah.
They're really just for me. But I mean, if you get a headache, I'll give you some Advil, but it's just like I would have brought this if it was just me. You know what I mean?
She would. She's not joking. Dang, I missed the all aboard.
So it's time to get on the train.
Wisconsin, all the way down to the red one down there.
I was in a tour group in England, and the tour guide said, "We have a standard for you to follow." So my mom and I got really like, he meant a flag. And he was over something like that, but we thought, "Ooh, there's standards over here." Behave.
Spoiler, this ride doesn't stop in Leslie or Americus.
I got them all lined
Okay,
up.
good. Thank you. I needed that help.
Yellow piece of paper.
Sam Shortline is comprised of 1940s train cars.
Very welcome. This will get you back on board at each of our
Oh,
stops.
thank you.
You're welcome. You're wearing.
Do we have a...
Uh-oh.
I was in a certain spot.
Then there's confusion about where to sit.
On your ticket. And
15A and 15B.
We finally got it sorted out.
Should we ride it backwards?
Yeah, I'm good. Are you good?
You turn your chair, you can make it like a circle. It's like a circle.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, it is.
Your uncle talked to me first, but hey.
Is it fun, Kirby?
Yeah.
So you get snacks, you get Chips Ahoy,
Oh, you can buy more
You get
stuff. So you wouldn't
peanuts?
starve. That's good.
and the Nutri-Grain bar.
So there's a snack car. Here's the menu. But you can also call ahead to Buffalo Cafe in Plains, and by the time you get there, you can get your food. The call ahead is a good idea because there's just not time for everybody to order and have their food prepared when you get there.
This is the cafe in Plains.
Oh, it is.
It's the Buffalo Cafe. So they want you to call this number, place your order before the train gets there.
Ah, I gotcha. Makes sense. So Stacey and I and our church friends sit at the table awaiting takeoff. The train cars are beautifully restored with modern comforts. Among the excursions they offer is a murder mystery dinner train ride.
Killing machine.
The train begins to move. It picks up speed slowly. I've always been fascinated about all the things you might see along a train route. These are things that are hidden from the eye when you ride on the highway. Big lecture. Then there are announcements, which sound an awful lot like the bus rides at Disney World.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the Sam Shortline. Periodically during today's trip, you will hear this sound. That will alert you to listen for important information or instructions. Please give your attention to the announcement when you hear this sound. Qualified volunteer conductors and car hosts staff the train, and they're ready to assist you with all of your needs. Please notify them should you need assistance and pay careful attention to their instructions throughout today's trip. It is safe to move between cars, and we invite you to explore the train. Please do watch your step when passing between cars and use handrails where provided. For your convenience, restrooms are located throughout the train, and a changing table is available as well. Please ask your car host for the location of each restroom and the changing table on today's train. Smoking is not allowed on the Sam Shortline. Please refrain from smoking until you have been trained at your destination. Should you have an accident or become ill during your ride with us today, please notify your car host or conductor immediately for assistance. Again, thank you for riding the Sam Shortline. We hope you have a safe and enjoyable trip.
Now that we're underway, it's time to start moving around and looking at stuff. I walk toward the snack car. And of course, pausing to look out the windows at what we're passing.
He was 8,500 an acre.
It's interesting moving from one car to the next, and interesting walking on a moving train. It's a very smooth ride, and with a very gentle rocking. And the clatter of the wheels on the tracks is unmistakable. To my right is the snack bar, where they sell pre-prepared food. A take up a position to look into the next car through the door.
Hi, Charlie.
It's interesting to see the doors move separately from each other. It's almost hypnotic. I come in to have a look, but I don't want to disturb the passengers. So I head back toward our car. And sit to film some passing scenery. It's really relaxing sitting back and looking out at the Sumter County landscape. Old roads, dirt roads, and fields. These are a few of my favorite things. Then we're in Plains. So we're in Plains. You've seen this episode, but we're gonna have a little fun. And the train disembarks at what time?
In 2 hours.
2 hours? All right.
They'll blow the whistle 5
All right.
minutes before.
All right. Thank you.
The train leaves in 2 hours. We're disembarking now.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, you disembark on a journey, right?
No, it disembark is like you're physically leaving the vessel.
I don't need you. You're fired. Since the train is empty, I thought I'd get a quick look. I believe this is Coach.
Some people came by, they kind of maybe it was some of their clothing or
This is fun. This is a new experience for me. There's just something neat about old train cars. And we're in Plains. Everyone's gathered to decide what to do. I've walked through some of it. There's still crowds of people in there, so they got a couple of cars in.
Yeah, I guess some people probably don't even want to get off.
Yeah. There's people in there still getting snacks. Said they still look the same?
Did they look the same?
Well, some of them have like, I guess it's more coach-like. It's like school bus seats, but they ain't like...
Facing each other.
Yeah, facing each other. What are those?
Those are like, they're not a coach. They call them, I don't know. They got a name for those. If you're going on a long trip, you can ride those. It's more comfortable than like what we got.
Right, yeah.
And then you got the sleeper where it's got the bump and all that.
Okay, yeah.
I'll think of that in a minute.
It's cool though. I'm like, next time I might ride
If
in
I
that
had
car.
one of them, I'd be in there now. Take me a little.
So the plan, it seems, is to go to the high school, which is a museum now. Here they have an example of an old classroom. I've filmed this before, but I was drawn to this old bookcase.
Oh, there it is. What's an inkwell?
Teacher's tail.
I'm always fascinated by just what volumes might occupy one of these old shelves. I see a Zane Grey. I've always been more of a Louis L'Amour man myself. Desks with years of use. Now years since they've been used. Here's a history of many children sitting at these desks. Carved and worn into these desks. Children long since grown. This is really low key. I don't know how entertaining this is, but it's fun. Then I caught someone's attention. Vlogging? Thought I was in trouble for a second. I do have my own channel. Actually, I have a card. Travel. Yeah, I let the sideways cam go on a little too long. Eventually, it'll probably be like a month before I get up. I got some other stuff ahead of it. Hey, you're welcome. Hope you like it. Somebody asked if I was a vlogger and is like interested in the channel, and I gave him a card, and that's cool. The Plains High School. You might remember this from episode 1 of Down the Road with Brian Mallard. So Donnie, have a seat and talk to us now.
Don't interview him. You actually want to? Oh my god.
Stacey, she did good.
I'm not gonna interview him, but this is Donnie. He's in our Sunday school class, and he actually used to work on the railroad, which I thought was appropriate since we just got off a train.
Right.
And so it's really fun. He gives
Wrote
us
nightmares.
It's like me going back to get on a forklift years later.
Right?
Yeah.
So he gives us little tidbits, but we're not gonna press him about stuff.
So I guess you start in Plains and then just stop in the other towns on the way back, or are you just going through those towns?
I don't know. I thought it stopped at each one. Maybe they just want you to have a nice long train ride and then they stop at the place on the way back. I don't know.
Maybe you're exhausted and just you ride back.
Oh, it was interesting though.
Let them eat in the Buffalo Cafe, then don't forget about all the stuff. Don't forget about Leslie. Yeah, I thought we were going to Leslie. There's like a telephone museum there.
As it turns out, we were not going to Leslie.
Peanut butter ice cream.
Oh yeah, peanut butter ice cream's good. Strangely, like I didn't think I'd like it, but it's really good.
Stacey was good on anything.
Oh yeah. Stacey was wise enough to bring these rolls and cheese, so we.
I have extra water too if you're thirsty.
By this tree. I bet you.
Are those the butterflies?
Billy Carter's old truck. I believe it's legit. This is a beautiful old town. It's an old town that might not be in such good shape if it were not for Jimmy Carter. So we're in an antique mall, and it used to be a bank. And here is the safe. The bill from when they bought the safe. $1906. So when I started this show, like what, 4 years ago, I started it right here in Plains. So if you zip back to the very first episode, it's Plains. And I said in that video we drove by Jimmy Carter's home, and I said, and you can still see where Jimmy Carter, as of this production, still lives. Well, it's like 4 years later, and Jimmy Carter's still living here. He's still around, and he's still here.
Yeah, so a few years ago, I was volunteering at Jimmy's Boyhood Farm for the National Park Service, and Wolf Blitzer came out, and it was really early. It was like 8:30, because CNN wanted to shoot some B-roll at the farm, because they just think he's gonna die like any second, and that was like a long time ago. So I think they have to come out and get new B-roll. Like, it's not. It's just funny to me, like how the news is ready for him to pass away, but he's still alive. So I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Plus, whenever Wolf Blitzer gets like hot, it's funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like Jimmy Carter's like, yeah, now what? I'm still here. And if you look up at that balcony up there, if you look at episode 2 of this show, there's a parade. It starts off with a parade, and it starts off with Jimmy Carter talking. He's sitting on that balcony up there. Back to the train.
Watch your step.
The train starts up. By the direction it's rolling, I know we're going to archery. Out there on the beloved red soil of Georgia. I love this county. I always have, and I'm likely to always. And we reach Jimmy Carter's Boyhood Farm. Okay, so we've seen this. What I haven't done is actually swing on this porch swing, which I hope is properly mounted in the ceiling. Oh, this is nice. Stacy's taking our friends on a little tour. I'm sitting this one out. Been here numerous times, but I've never seen this many people here. I'm glad it's successful, but I think I like it quieter. Hey guys, haven't seen y'all in a while. I always have to visit the chickens. Hey buddy. And it's time to head back. Me, Stacy, and a trainload of excited passengers. It's been a good day.
I think it is.
I showed it. Y'all do that.
Crossing Lake Blackshear. We're back in Cordele. And it's time to disembark one last time. We'll always have the memory of this experience. Our day spent on Sam Shortline. See you down the road.